Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers. Oh, microphone checker. Look at him. Look at him. He trying to boy, old DJ Jazzy.
Jazzy not.
Jazzy less.
Right.
Let me not make you laugh too much.
That's all right.
You're going to be choking and hacking up a lung.
You know what? But we having a good time today.
As long as that black crap start coming out. Oh, boy. That's when you know you're on the tail end.
Oh, dude,
when it started, you be like, oh, that little flap in the back of the throat.
Dude, it's just, now it's just that irritation that I notice it mostly when I'm talking all day at work. And then boom.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this where we at today?
Well, you know, at least you can say, yeah, I can't talk today.
I wish I could, but
Yeah,
as soon as they walk in the office, I'm like,
Yeah. They rely on you saying, your voice in command.
and can't take that day off. You know what happened? This is one thing I never will understand, how people call in sick so much. You know, like any excuse. Oh, I feel a little under the weather. I'm gonna stay home. I can't call in sick.
Yeah.
The work doesn't go away. For me to say I can't come to work today, that's 30 patients. I got to figure out how to put them somewhere else.
30 patients. You got a staff.
Dude.
You have a lot going on.
The only time I haven't been to work is when I was in the hospital.
Right.
Other than that,
Right.
I'm there.
Yeah. Even when you went through everything,
Yeah,
you
I'm
were
still
there. Welcome to Sipping on Excellence.
Right.
This is how we start.
Yeah.
Talking about us.
That's
'Cause
what
it's
we're
about
here.
us.
It's our
Yes.
show. Do what the hell we want.
Exactly.
Y'all missed a great live today. This episode, when it comes out, y'all will just know that you need to be tuning in every Saturday.
Yeah, man.
Every Saturday at 11 o'clock, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We're bringing the fire for real.
Well, make sure if you tune in, it's on his starting off, but
Yeah.
the post will be up on Sipping on Excellence.
Yes.
Podcast, Instagram. Yeah.
We'll point that out. So basically, every Saturday, tune in to @LayonL Hunt. Just look for us on. If you follow us, you'll get it. How about that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, damn, it'll show up in your shit.
Yo, you whoopity do. Yo, whoopity
Your
do.
timeline.
Yes, when you know you old. Man, you know that whoopity
thing?
do. That thing. That shimmer the dang.
But,
Stop making up words.
Yeah, we got a great show for y'all lined up today. Talking about something that we all can relate to. But yeah, welcome. It's good to be back for another week.
Oh, you know I got another song lined up for when we get started. Yes.
He was singing Barry White earlier, y'all. So I don't know what else to say, but
You'll never find. Oh, that's Lou Rawls.
yeah. Was listening to Lou Rawls on Thursday. One of my nurses walked by and was like, "What you know about this?" And she's probably in her 60s, and she was playing a Lou Rawls song. I was like, "Really?" I was like,
You know his story, don't you?
"Yes."
I did not know.
I just said yes and left it at that.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. You don't know Lou Rawls' story? Look it up.
But brother made some good music.
Yeah, we'll keep it there.
That's all we're gonna talk about today. In other news,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coach,
Yes, sir.
let's take it down a notch and just be serious for a minute.
Okay. Is that what
How
we're
was
trying to
your week, Coach? Did you learn something about? Fuck that. What's up, man?
do? You know where he came from.
I know this fool
Man,
was on vacay, celebrating his wedding anniversary,
Slash
celebrating birthdays,
You know.
doing big things.
Yeah, man. Yeah. 10 years marriage.
Hate that I
man.
missed it, man, but
Yeah. 10 years marriage, 50 years old. Man, this is a good one.
it was a good
My
one.
wife and I both. So
Good one, yeah.
Yeah. Her actual birthday is next month, so. But
Good celebration, man. It was good to see that you had your whole family there, and your brother was there.
Oh
Yeah.
Man, it was amazing. And let me tell you, I don't want to give shout outs to locations but dude, Secrets Matcha was amazing. And I like
And he's critical. So
yeah, I said like, not love. I like all inclusives, but this was a banger.
it was a good one.
Oh my goodness. It was a banger. I mean, it's pools everywhere. There's a lagoon as soon as you walk in, and it just keeps reaching out and reaching out and reaching out. As you're walking out, you go to a lot of resorts. It's like one pool, this pool, this pool, this pool, and this pool. No, it's just water everywhere. And it's like wherever you want to go, they had these little offset little small pools that they call the cenotes.
Okay.
So they try to make it look like it's a little undergroundish.
This is in Playa del Carmen, in case y'all were wondering.
Yeah. And, the water was a little cooler. It was just amazing. But what I learned, there's nothing like family. There is nothing like family. There's nothing like family, bro. It's some amazing shit.
And I'll tell you, like we were talking about earlier today, what I learned as well is there's nothing like family.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that,
Yeah.
I was having a conversation, and I made a statement that just because you share the same genes doesn't mean that you got to be friends. Doesn't mean that y'all have to be cool.
That's right.
I'm lucky that my mom and my brother and my sister, all of us, we're very cool.
Yeah.
But I have extended family that I've never met, and there's people out there who feel like now that you've made it, you owe them something. I don't owe you a thing. I don't know you.
Absolutely no contribution, but you owe me.
I don't know. I don't know you.
You're entitled by being.
There's certain people out there who feel who've made statements who I've never met.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah. And then there's people that just feel like they're owed something, and I'm just like, you know what, man? Just because you're family, I don't owe you a thing. I don't owe you a thing. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. That
I owe my mama. That's it.
That conversation we had earlier about that, man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one kind of floored me. I wasn't ready for it.
But it's the way it is. And so understand that you don't get to choose your family. So there's nothing that says that you have to keep them.
Correct.
People are like, oh, they're family. You guys should always be tight. No, not necessarily. No. I'm tight with my brother. I'm tight with my sister. I'm tight with my sister-in-law, my mom, and their kids and all that because that's just, we're tight.
Yeah.
If I'm not tight with you and we don't communicate, it doesn't mean I dislike you. It just means I don't know you.
Yeah. I like what you're saying, you're tight, and then there's that aspect of we have a relationship.
Yeah, I know you.
We have a working relationship. We're okay. We're working on it. We're in there.
Yeah, but I don't owe you shit.
I have that as well.
Yeah, but I don't owe you shit. And then there's those friends who have become family who are tighter than family in some respects. Yeah. And that's just the way it is because I chose them. So if I chose them and they turn out to be shitty, that's my fault.
Right.
If I was born into a family and you turn out to be shitty, that ain't my fault.
I mean, you can always be Dom Toretto. There's nothing like family.
And it's
and
true.
They're still coming, but they,
There's nothing like family if family acts right.
Yeah.
I'm just lucky that my family acts right. My immediate family. Because I've seen some people whose families treat them like shit. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing that says you owe them anything.
I was just thinking when you said their family treats them like shit. I remember when you first started, like, shh. You know what? We're new to this. We're not gonna curse yet. Yeah. That's just like, just let it go.
It's our podcast now.
We're all the way in.
We in. We in it.
We are here for the scooping.
We are. God, we recorded a lot of stuff, dude.
I know.
And what's amazing is we have not repeated.
I know.
A single episode.
I mean,
that's not gonna mean that we're not gonna give you guys, every now and then a repeat that we think is a banger. We might bring it back as an encore because some of them are just, y'all need to hear it twice.
Yeah.
You know, but there's no shortage of stuff to talk about.
No.
And so it makes it,
Not at all, man.
And the world keeps giving us material. The world keeps giving us material.
I know. There's a reason why we don't have to go as hard in the paint to try to figure out what we're going to have a discussion about.
Yeah.
It's just what we mutually agree upon. It's like, oh, you know what? Let's talk about this one.
So one thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
And it's part of the what's wrong with y'all.
All right.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Trump. And the reason why I brought this up, and it's crazy how people are seeing and hearing in his own words what he did. Got indicted. All this stuff now. Dude's facing jail time, right? Mm-hmm. They're now bringing up, of course, the Clintons and the Bidens and all of this stuff. And tell me if you agree with me on this one. Everybody wants to point fingers and say, well, the whataboutism. Well, yes, he's doing this, but what about this or what about that? How about I point this out? Do you know any politician
That's clean?
that's clean?
No.
From the local government to the federal government.
No.
Every single politician has done something that's questionable.
I mean, see what's happening to LA City Council.
Yeah. Has done something that's questionable. And this is by no means defending Trump, but what I see now, the difference is that idiot that was our president can't shut his mouth, and he thinks he's above the law instead of trying to skirt around it. He just say, yeah, I did it, but I was president.
Yeah.
Okay.
His ego precedes him.
His ego's, and that's the problem. Everybody else at least tried to hide it. He just lied, said, I don't have it. And then it's right there. It's like, come on, man. Not only did you lie, you obstruct justice. You do all this stuff. And it's like, if you're going to be a crooked politician, be smart. And that's the problem. Donald Trump ain't smart.
No.
He's proven time and time again he's just dumb.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me the most.
Yeah.
I could care less about his politics and all that. There's some stuff that he's...
I love how they say his politics. He has no.
No, exactly. That's what I say.
He has no coup.
No, he's got nothing.
He's
a TV personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, and yeah, you got Biden, who's an old dude. You got Trump, who's an old dude. You got, and here's the funny part. People who were, and now there's like 20 people trying to be Republican, and none of them want to have the balls to say anything negative about Trump.
I think the only one has been Chris Christie.
Yeah, he's the only one who's been.
But he has a gift of gab of flip-flopping.
Oh, for
alone.
Sure. He was kissing his ass once, then now he's not.
Yeah.
And so it's at what point do we say, okay, why don't we just cancel all these old fucks and start fresh?
Right.
On both sides of the aisle.
That's not going to happen, though.
And so it's like, what do you do then?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, though. They love they ticks, not politics. They love they ticks.
They ticks for real,
because that's exactly what it is. And it's so funny how easily we like to put the water in the drink to dilute it.
It's still dirty.
I know. Look at him. He can't even wait for the
trying to battle this, hoping this is gonna.
We can't even cheers.
I'm trying to keep from coughing on this mic, but
yeah.
So that's one. What's wrong with y'all? Here's another one. Last week we talked about obesity.
Correct.
Sorry, y'all. Y'all gonna just deal with it today.
You're going to have to deal with it. It's okay though. We're here for it.
And you now have this woman who wants to sue the airlines for discrimination because they're trying to tell her if she wants to fly and coach, she has to buy the extra seats.
Correct.
And they're saying airlines, to not discriminate, should allow them to book extra seats without having to pay for them. So here's the crazy part of it. What do you think happens? What do you think happens if obese people who have a choice win this and they say, yes, airlines have to provide extra seats for obese people, number one, what's considered obese and at what size do they have to get the extra seat? And what do you think that's going to do to airline prices for tickets?
God. Skyrocket, bro.
So
Skyrocket.
they're never going to prove that that's discriminatory because there's nothing in the Constitution that talks about obesity as being discrimination. It's not a disability. You're not handicapped. You're fat.
Yeah. It's a disease.
It's a disease, but still, I don't think we should have to pay because you can't put the fork down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not fat shaming. I'm just letting you know obesity is not healthy.
No. It's a curable disease. Let's just point that out. It is a curable disease.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what we tried to talk about last week. Yeah. And this is one of those things. It's like, why is this even coming up? And it shows her walking down the aisle and saying that the aisles aren't wide enough. And so because they're skinny aisles and the seats are small, they're discriminating against fat discrimination. I'm like, are you effing kidding me right now?
Dude, I'm a big dude. It's not
comfortable.
It's not comfortable for all of us. But we go.
And if you happen to get that middle seat, it's really not. It's not comfortable.
You need to book in time,
right?
And show
you
up.
You better choose your seat.
Exactly.
You know when you pull up the grid and it's green,
I'm aisle every time, baby.
Every single time. I don't want to be climbing over people to go to the bathroom.
No.
Anyway, but that's just one of my that I just had to bring up because we were talking about it last week, and it's just it's annoying. What people feel is a right and what they deserve, as opposed to just looking at it as this is something I created. Why is something I created now everybody else's problem?
Right. Because it takes away.
It's just your problem.
Takes away from them having to deal with it.
It really is just your problem. Mm-hmm. Y'all, you need to fix it. Mm-hmm. The other what's wrong with y'all? Since we talked about politics, let's talk about this military.
Yeah, you just told me about that.
So now, because our lovely country is having enlistment issues with the military, can't get enough people to enlist.
Can't get them out of high school like they used to.
Well, and also because if you really think about it, this generation right now is becoming sort of disenchanted with, number one, there's no war that they need to be going to, so nobody's feeling that sense of patriotism where I got to enlist. 9/11 didn't just happen. That was when we had the last big push. And then people realized, oh, we fought a couple wars since then that had nothing to do with us.
Or how about this? Think about the generations that are coming up, that are young, that are making money already because of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, because a lot of people go in because they don't know where they're going.
Well, not only that, it then allows them to get college paid for when they're done. These fools now are like, I don't even want to go to college.
Right.
I'm an influencer.
Right.
I make $100,000 a month. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I got OnlyFans. Right.
Right.
People pay me $50,000 a month to look at my feet.
Right.
Why am I going to college? And so the military is having issues. And so what have they started to do now? Mind you, the hot topic at any election period is immigration.
Right.
And illegal immigration. So now they're saying, if you want to enlist in the military, we will fast track your citizenship. And I think they were saying you get your paperwork quicker, you enlist, you go to basic training, and by the time the 7 weeks of basic training are up, you will have your citizenship. But you got to come fight for us. So my question is, what happens if you get your citizenship, then you just quit? Like, I'm done with the military.
Right.
I'm out. Or I sprain my ankle, I can no longer serve.
Right, right.
You know, and then think about this. If you don't think somebody's fleeing persecution and they're looking for asylum, and then they sign up for the military. How bad does something have to be where they're coming from to want to join the military to be in the front lines again? I live in the front line.
Right.
I'm trying to escape it only to come to a country where they're going to put me in the front lines again.
Right.
And if they say yes, then you know how bad things are where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because everybody's talking about, border security, and how Texas and Florida are shipping
Yes,
people. Texas is shipping them to LA. They just shipped a bus of like 40 people to LA and we're here.
Yeah.
Why aren't there the same issues, you don't hear the northern states talking about this same problem. Nobody's stopping an influx of Canadians from coming here.
And they coming in and going as they please.
And here's what people don't understand. The majority, 90% of people in this country illegally did not come through one of the southern ports of entry. They came in on a flight through multiple airports and just overstayed visas. That's 90% of illegal immigrants here. Not the ones that the brown invasion coming from the south.
Mm-hmm.
That's
real.
That's not where all the illegal
that's a fact.
The illegal aliens are coming from.
Yeah.
They're entering the country through normal ports of entry at every airport you can imagine, every international airport in the country.
And somehow get lost into the system.
They get lost in the system, and you're talking about illegal immigrants. That's 90% of them.
I know 2 of them.
Yeah. They just don't leave. Once they get here, they just don't leave.
And guess what they are? Influencers.
Of course. And nobody's chasing them down. Mm-hmm. But yet the brown menace, because they're escaping persecution. If you're coming here with money and all that stuff, okay, it's okay if you're here illegally. If you're coming here just looking for a better way of life, that's where we have a problem.
Yeah. It's, going to Mexico, it's very interesting. You're at the resort and you're looking around, and a handful of people, okay. Most of the people you end up talking to at dinner, breakfast tables or whatever, middle America, that are flying down in groves to Mexico to these resorts, but yet are so hostile to anybody crossing the border. It's such a weird dynamic.
I'm going to enjoy you on your turf.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let you enjoy us on our turf.
So entertain me, tease me, friend me, do all these things for me, and then I want to leave. But what was interesting...
But you could also come work for me.
Yes.
But you can't bring your family.
Build my buildings, but you got to
clean my toilets. And as long as you're here doing stuff for me, I won't tell nobody.
Yeah.
And they'll be right here. Oh, illegal immigration.
Walking my child.
And you got Martha, who's your babysitter.
Mm-hmm. See it all day long.
Yeah. It's like they can raise your kids, but you don't want them coming in unless they're doing something for you. That's that bullshit.
Oh, you'll love this part. So part of the entertainment staff, so one of the nights was a 70s night.
Okay.
So they're doing this whole 70s theme, and they're on stage, and they have this whole performance. They just had the LGBTQ flag. Mm-hmm. Not the flag, but colors.
Yes.
They said, what is this? A lot of people were like, what is this? Is this some type of gay pride thing? And a ton of people got up and started walking out.
Really?
Yeah. We were like, wow. I want you to entertain me, but not this way. You were cheering for that guy the night before, but because
the colors are up and they're being inclusive at an all-inclusive
right.
This is America.
Mm-hmm.
And
we like to beat our chest everywhere we go.
We're the greatest in the world.
In France, when my wife and I went, we were at this restaurant, and you can hear it. There was a family sitting at this table, and they're like, "I just want a hamburger," this. I don't know what this menu says. So the waiter, he kind of acted a certain way, Guy comes over to us. He says, you know, like, 'cause I don't speak French, but I know just enough. I was like, je ne parle pas, whatever it was en français. And he said, oh, you speak French. He said that so clearly.
Right.
And he was French. Very solid English.
Were you guys in Paris?
Yeah.
So a lot of Parisians speak English.
Yes, they do.
But won't because of the reputation that we have as Americans.
And they can see us
Paris,
coming a mile away.
And I have friends that grew up in France, that from Marseille and some other places, who don't like Parisians because they're so, you know, it's funny how they say they're just different French. But yet, you know, most places around the world speak a little bit of English, and they learn a little bit of English simply because it's a universal language around the world that everybody uses in business. It's not the most spoken language in the world.
Right.
Mandarin is, but it's a language where in business and other places, because the U.S. is such a big economy, Great Britain's such a big economy, Canada is such a big economy.
But don't you find it interesting that they have the same behavior that we have when we go places? Like, you're saying that your friends, like, they don't like Parisians because they seem, but we're going to their grounds and we're acting too American.
Yep. It's just
too American, not too American, too American.
And all it takes is, and for you and I who've traveled a lot, all it takes is being humble. Like, look, I'm in your country. I don't speak your language, but how do you say this? Or to the point where I'll pull out my phone and go on Google Translate and be like,
but
and
see,
they see,
that's new.
and they see you trying.
Yeah.
If you just learn how to say hello in another language and thank you in the language of wherever you're traveling, that goes so far because people see you're trying.
Yeah.
You know, but when you expect people, and it goes back to what you feel you deserve, you feel that you deserve people to speak to you in your native tongue. And then you get mad when people come here and can't speak English. Why don't you know how to speak English? Well, the same reason why you don't speak French or you don't speak Spanish when you go to Spain or Mexico, or you don't speak German.
Well, what if they say, well, I'm not in England?
And then what?
What are you going to say?
Because we don't have a national language.
We do not.
We speak American.
We speak American.
People would be like, look at these two ignorant brothers.
Yeah, we haven't even had a sip.
So let's get to the sip, then we can get back to this. So, sip of the day, well, our topic, we're going to talk about what is love.
What is love? Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
I would have bet my life.
You thought I was gonna sing Love Boat?
No. That as soon as I said what is love, if he would have sang anything else, I would have lost my life because I would have bet my life that was coming.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man,
that's the only song I know that starts like that.
What is love? Don't hurt me. Right. You have to sing it like that too, like my chest hurts.
And we're gonna talk about it from the viewpoints of two dudes because that's what we know.
Yeah, because I'm a sucker for it.
And it's not gonna be what you think. It's not gonna be how you think because everybody out there thinks they know what it is, and I don't think anybody does. So
it's a phrase that we use.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this cocktail though. So we decided to go with something that I'm a huge fan of, tequila. And so this is a Tequila Old Fashioned.
Yes, it is. It very much so is.
It is an Añejo Tequila with bitters and agave. Served on what used to be a couple big ice cubes. Y'all out there, y'all gonna want to make this. It'll be in the write up. Sip on this as you listen to this podcast or watch the YouTube because this is gonna be a good one.
Smooth.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers to you guys. Oh yeah. We about to get loose.
Get low.
So let's
crack that open.
Let's switch gears, man.
Let's crack this word open.
I did a post earlier in the week about love and what that means and expectations, and just I kind of went into it because I was talking about it with a friend. I was like, you know what, let's just get in it. And the take home from that conversation is learning how to love people. And one statement I made was, there's zero chance of you loving someone until you learn how to love yourself.
It's so funny. As you were saying it, I felt, because I know you so well, I was just like, I was mouthing what he was saying.
Right.
I was like, wait, oh, there it is.
But, and the reason why I say that is because we spend a lot of time, you meet people, and love comes in different forms. We know how to love our pets. You know, we love our parents. We love our moms, our dads, you know, our family. Love is something that you don't have to learn. It's innate. Love is just, it's part of humanity. The problem is that it's not hard to love somebody. And because I started it off because somebody said to me, love is hard. Love itself isn't hard. Mm-mm. Knowing how to love someone is hard. And it's only hard if you don't know how to love yourself.
Correct.
And I think it's only hard when you try to love someone the way you feel you need to be loved, or you try to love them the way you feel they need to be loved, instead of loving them how they need to be loved.
I tell you what, when Gary Chapman wrote his book, The Love Languages, that cracked a whole different world open, which is funny because that's a spiritual book.
Yeah.
But he took it a different way.
Right. And the thing is, people still don't get it, you know? And I was telling this to my friend. I was like, loving is easy. Liking somebody is hard.
You don't always like them.
No. There's plenty of people who you have love for, and at times you don't like them.
Yeah. You can be, quote unquote, in love, because you can be in love.
You can be in love with your spouse, but just not like them at the moment.
Right.
You know, and that's very real.
But you also can be in love with them, love them, and not like them.
Yes.
Or, you know what I mean? There's different dynamics.
It's like, or I can have love for you,
yes,
but not be in love with you.
Right.
Because I always say, if you've ever loved somebody, you don't stop loving them. You stop liking them as much, and you become no longer in love. But at the end of the day, there's still some love for them.
Yeah.
You know, wherever that is. Now, there's some people that you're just like, I hope to God I never see them again.
When you said that, it got me thinking about this. When my ex-wife and I were separating, something that I said, and it resonates with me to this day. I said, because she was like, oh, you know, we're just about to end, and, you know, just on this whole tirade about us. And I said, you know what? I love you. I love you so much that I can let you go.
And I guarantee there's a lot of people out there who don't even understand that concept.
Yeah. Yeah. That meant the world to me, because it released her. It released me. There's that moment where you kind of backtrack and like, oh, well, you know what, though? I'm a lot better because of it. And we're a lot better because we're able to actually have a communication. You know, we don't have to be these angry people.
Yeah.
What for?
Yeah.
What is that going to give me? And it's also allowed me to love again.
So here's my question.
This shit is good.
Yeah, right? Here's my question for you. What is love?
Love is pain.
Okay. Yeah, no, but
technically,
but that's very real. But
like passion is actually hurt. Passion is pain. The word passion,
right?
But that's not love. But love is I don't have any descriptors for it.
That's exactly what I was looking for. Love is indescribable.
Yeah.
And when somebody's like, I love you so much, well, why? And this is where the difference in the definition of love for men and women and how we view love comes into play, you know, and it's individual. So if you look up the word love in the dictionary, it's very generic. It just says it's a feeling. Feeling of what? A feeling of love. You can't describe a word with the word.
Right.
You know? And so when somebody says love, I think there's only two types of unconditional love, like true unconditional love. One, a dog and its owner.
Okay.
Think about a dog,
Yeah.
Not even a cat, a dog. A dog will get beat down by its owner, treated like shit. And if the owner walks over with a treat, that dog will still be loyal and love you. The other one is the love of a mother for their child. Not even necessarily the dad.
I know.
The mom for their child. Those are probably the
Different
only
connection.
Those are probably the only two unconditional love scenarios. Now, men and women love differently, and we'll hear this all the time. Men love as far as a man can unconditionally. Like, there's no terms to why a man loves you. He loves you regardless of what you bring. Women love you as a man for what you provide. Now, people out there are going to be up in arms, and it's proven time and time again, and we've said this many times. A woman will love you as long as she feels safe, secure, all these different things. Right. So that's where her emotions are tied to. A man values respect more than anything and looks at love, your level of love, based on how much you respect him. I think that makes sense, right? Because I think it's hard to respect somebody, to love somebody, not respect them.
And I'm going to chime in with that, because what happens with men is respect. That's the big nugget. There are little things that attach to it, which are security. It's financials, whatever it is. Because one of the things that happened to me, and it resonates with me more than anything else, is when my ex-wife, one of the things she said initially was, I didn't make her feel secure. And I said, but I did this, I provided this, I provided that. And I'm trying to figure out where's the level of security. Right. I asked her, she couldn't really give it to me, which means I think that's what she created. But at the same time, that was a punch to me, because it says she doesn't respect me because I'm not providing her with this security. Yeah. So if that is ever said again, I'm immediately like, I lock up, because I'm not being respected at that time.
Yeah, and if you ask most men, I'm giving you guys some gems here. Ask any man, what's more important to him? That you respect him or that you love him? I guarantee you he'll choose respect any day of the week, 100 times a day, over love. And the reason why? Because a man, when you ultimately respects him, it feels like love to him.
He feels appreciated.
He feels loved. If you love him, if you say you love him, but you don't respect him, he's not going to feel loved. It's that simple.
Because, you just saying it, I immediately don't feel loved.
Yeah, seriously.
Right. Because you know what it's like? It feels like you're getting a shaking in the hand and a kick in the dick at the same time.
Mm-hmm. And this is why, if you look at marriages and divorce, there's only one, the number one reason a man leaves a woman. Why do you think that is? Infidelity. The number one reason a woman leaves a man is not infidelity. It's finances. It's security. It's feeling like, you know what I mean? Like I'm taken care of, like I'm a priority. That's why a man cheats, women will usually stay. A woman cheats, a man is out. Why? Because in a relationship, the ultimate disrespect is for a woman to step out on her dude. It's that simple because we know what it takes for a woman to do that. Very different from a man.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's one of those things where that's why we value respect over everything else. Right. If we feel we're being disrespected, that's when we're like, all right, some shit's got to give.
Yeah.
We'll stick with you as we're both hitting rock bottom. We'll stick with you through, you know, poor finances, all this stuff. We'll stick with you. Step out on us with a friend or step out on us with a coworker. We're done.
You know, it's interesting about like men that step out versus women that step out. Men that step out usually is just random.
Random. It's not pre-planned.
Women step out, they're pretty much in a relationship.
Yeah.
They're already tied down in this relationship. They're just trying to figure out a way out.
And most men, when we talk about this, most men, if he's repeatedly seeing somebody that he works with or that is a close friend and he's looking for a way to just be done with you. And so if this dude goes on a boys trip, smashes some chick, he doesn't even know her name, comes back, he's coming home to you, it's a very different scenario. You know what I mean? It really is.
You got me laughing because I'm thinking about, so you know, like when I do my lives or I'm always en route. So I'm always en route to, you know, a place that I can sit down quietly, you know, write out a few thoughts or whatever. But I see it's usually close to, you know, it's 12 o'clock. It's close to lunchtime. I see all the time these random, one car pull up, then another pull up right next to it, real tight, or they'll back in and somebody's jumping out and getting a hug and they're getting into the other car. I'm like, oh, it's time for me to move. I'm like, this is broad daylight. This is a busy street. They're just, I'm like, let me move on. I'm like, I wonder how, and I always think in my head, like, I wonder what is going on, these dynamics.
Yeah.
But I ain't trying to be there to see it.
No. And it's,
I don't want to be a part. I got shit to do.
And I always tell people, they're like, oh, well, you're condoning men. No. I'm condoning people doing whatever they need to do to get through their life.
Right.
But all I'm saying is, when men step out, 99.9% of the time, love has absolutely nothing to do with it. It's that simple. Sex and love are not equated in a man's brain. Whereas women, there's always emotion attached to that, and you're biologically hardwired to go that direction.
Which is like the whole cyclical, women are cyclical versus men linear.
Exactly.
You know,
and so we look at love differently based on that aspect.
Yeah.
We're biologically hardwired differently to look at love. You know, if you ask me what my definition of love is, I'm going to tell you I have no idea. I think
it's like the dictionary. It's a feeling.
Yeah. Well, no, and and is it a noun or a verb? You know, it's one of those things where, and most people, and here's where people get really caught up. Well, I must love him because he gives me these butterflies, these feelings. What you guys don't realize is you're always chasing that feeling in a marriage of the first time you met. Oh, I want that feeling again. You know what that feeling is? That feeling's anxiety.
Yeah.
Butterflies are nothing more than anxiety. And when you finally love somebody and you're comfortable with them, the anxiety of that goes away. That's why the butterflies go away.
Yeah.
Don't keep searching for the anxiety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people don't think about that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, it's a good feeling because you're like, I'm anxious about.
But that's
excitement, anxiety.
Think about it. That's the same thing that goes into the feeling of people chasing drugs. They chase that same lick, that first lick. You know?
Yeah, and when you love somebody, because you just know. It's not a question.
Yeah.
And like I was talking to my brother one day, and he made a statement to me, and I told you this before he married his wife. And he told me, he's like, yeah, I'm ready to get married. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, how do you know? He's like, honestly, he's like, because I'm sitting here, and I was thinking, he's like, if she cheated on me, I don't know that I would leave her. And I was like, why? And he's like, because I know my life would probably be, I'd be miserable having to live with that, but I know that I would be more miserable if she weren't here. And I was just like, that's deep.
That's real talk, though.
I was like, I ain't been there yet.
That's real talk.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I feel the same.
Yeah. You know, and so and he was like,
that really resonates.
Yeah. He was like, I don't know. He's like, I can't say definitely. He's like, but I literally would sit here and be like, I don't know.
I tell you what, and as a man, because we are fixers, you'll say, what do I need to do differently that she won't do that again?
Or what did I do to make that happen?
Exactly.
Because we know what it takes for a woman to reach that point.
Right.
So is it my fault? Now, if we realize that it's not my fault, then we might be like, all right, well, then I'm just out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do anything, and you no longer love me, or you no longer respect me, so now I'm out.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a whole thing. So, and what'll end up happening is when a woman cheats, she's on her own way out. Hence why 80% of divorces are filed by women. Because once she goes down that path with somebody else, she's creating space for this separation.
I think my ex married her other guy.
Married her side boo.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they were ever sides.
Yeah, but I'm just
I think
saying,
they always
like,
knew each other. Yeah, it happens.
Like I was saying before. And who did I hear say this? Corey Holcomb. Remember I talked about this? And he's talking about, you know, there's always that dude waiting in the wings for you to, if you got a good woman, he's like, if you got a good woman, which if she's your woman, then you think she's a good woman, then so does somebody else.
Yeah.
And so,
and there's somebody else,
and he's waiting in the wings,
and he's ready to settle down.
He's ready to snatch up.
It's kind of like pickup basketball. You know, you got that guy on the side court, just dribbling behind his knees.
Who got next?
Yep, and he's just working on his dribble. He's just constantly working, make sure it's nice and crisp.
Yeah,
he said, because I'm not going to do what he did and lose it on that crossover back to the right.
Right. and like he said, the one statement he said, he's like, don't ever say your girl won't do something. Don't ever say this is my girl. He's like, nah, dude, it's just your turn. Yeah. How long your turn lasts is up to you. Mm-hmm. He's like, because it'll be somebody else's turn tomorrow.
Yeah.
He's like, most women won't, and I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, I was like, most women won't bounce, and this goes to our conversation about alone versus lonely. Most women won't bounce from a relationship till she has the next one kind of around because they're afraid, especially as they get older, they don't want to be alone. Dudes will take a moment and become a slut maker for a while before
or a hermit, one or the other.
They'll go completely solitude, or they'll run the streets
because he's trying to figure some shit out.
Yeah, or they'll run the streets. And I heard somebody say this once, that men take it.
He said a slut maker.
Men,
like you got this big ass spot. Damn, ain't enough slut yet.
Right. But they were saying how breakups, believe it or not, hit men harder than women.
And
women would either be like, no, they don't. Yes, I promise you. The only thing is, as men, because we're always told to bottle that shit up, we just don't show y'all.
I'm gonna tell you this: it hits men harder because it's longer. Mm-hmm. Because it's in our brain. It's like, where did I mess up? What happened? With the success of it, the loss, the I can't believe because this
And also because we're not the one saying we're done.
Yeah. And most women ask men for a divorce when it's over.
Friend of mine came home from work one day and his wife was like, I want a divorce. Blindsided him.
Yeah.
Blindsided him like, oh shit, it's like I'm thinking we're good. I'm about to ask you where you want to go for dinner tonight, and she's like, yeah, babe, I just want to tell you I want a divorce. Oh shit, where'd that come from?
Mine called my mother.
Shut up.
Asking what are you asking her permission for? So my mom calls and said, listen, baby, I don't know if you know this. It's about to go. And shit. I think that's what she was trying to do, warm, because she knew she would call me and warm me up because we talk all the time.
Yeah. That's some coward shit right there. I'm sorry. That's just
yeah.
But yeah, and so I think men are hurt more because it takes, like you said, it takes us longer to get there.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably less hurt when we're the ones to say, you know what, we're out because we've processed it. No matter how bad things are going in a relationship, even though we may feel that, yeah, it's coming, we get punched in the gut when it happens.
That's why the most rewarding thing that you could ever do is say, I love you enough to let you go. That is a complete release. A release. It freed me. It freed her. It didn't free her, but it freed me. Whatever.
And here's what's funny. I also know some people who ended up not marrying the people they love. They married someone else. And it's that white elephant.
They married the stat sheet.
They married the stat sheet because somebody checked all the boxes and they were like, you know what? You know what they did? I know a few who married the runner-up because the star wasn't ready. And it's all about timing.
Yeah.
I've had women tell me, I wish you were ready when I was. Because there's some great women who have crossed my path who I look at them now, I'm like, yeah, you were cool, but you met me at the wrong time. And now you're married, so there's nothing we can do about it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, and the majority of them feel that they've settled.
Yeah.
And I get it because you wanted the kids, the blah, blah, all this stuff at a time when, dude, I'm banging out trying to get my career.
Yeah.
Yeah. We mature differently, and that's why older men like younger women, because when we come into our own, the women our age have already gotten married and done their thing.
How about you didn't marry the love of your life, you married the live in your life.
Interesting. Yeah. And here's a question that I'm going to probably pose on the next live when we go. But
okay.
Why is it that, and let me just put this disclaimer out there because people always say you can't say it about all. When we talk about things, Coach and I, we're speaking in general.
This is in
there
general.
Are always exceptions.
But things for you to reflect on and think
You
about.
may be an exception, so don't get pissed off at me because you think I'm talking about you.
No, you can get pissed off at him.
Yeah. Give a shit.
I know. Exactly. I'm the one that give a shit. I'm the sensitive one.
You ask women to describe their ideal guy. Like the guy that this is the guy that I would want to be with.
Okay. I'm here for it.
Why is that never the guy they're with?
Interesting.
And not all of you. Some of you are with your ideal guy and just don't know how to treat him. But others talk about their ideal guy like this is who would check all the boxes. He treats me well, blah, blah, whatever. And you know who that guy is? Usually somebody in the friend zone. And why?
Chop that one up.
You know why he's in the friend zone? Because he probably doesn't make all the money that you think he should make, or he's nice. Mm-hmm. But then when you describe your dude, you describe him. And then you're like, well, shit, why am I not with that guy? Well, it's your fucking problem. Interesting, right? Mm-hmm. And when I ask women, I'm like, why? You say you want this type of guy.
Then why are you not with him?
But yet you're with this guy. And why? Because you tend to attract what you are.
Yeah.
Become what this guy would be attracted to, and maybe you'll be with that kind of guy. You know, people don't realize you have to become what you want to attract.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, I married my ideal person.
Yeah.
I said, I want somebody that was 180 from my ex-wife. Okay. I got every bit of it. She wants me. She loves me for my stink. She challenges me. Mm-hmm. I don't want a sitter. I want someone that challenges me. And I have to keep that in mind when I'm having those moments like, oh, because, you know, that's me in my sob story. No, she's here to challenge me. Okay. Appreciate you.
You know why? This is what we talked about before. Women carry access to sex. Men carry access to relationships. Men marry their ideal woman. Mm-hmm. Women marry who wants to marry them. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Every now and then, that dude that wants to marry them is their ideal man. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, it's like, all right, he checks enough boxes.
To live in my life.
Yes, he checks enough boxes. Yeah. Whereas the guy is like, that's my ideal girl. I'm going to ask her to marry me. Uh-huh. The woman is like, he's close enough to my ideal. I'll say yes. Think about that shit. And I want somebody out there to tell me I'm wrong.
Take that to the bank.
We can have this debate. I mean, think about it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, to sum this up, none of us know what love is. We just know how we experience what we think it is. Mm-hmm. And as long as you're okay with that, and it can't be forced. You can't make yourself love someone.
No.
And it doesn't take long to love someone.
No.
It takes a long time to like somebody, but once you like them,
yeah.
Once you like somebody, love is easy. Yeah. You can't love somebody without liking them. And once you like them, the love part can come easy as long as nobody fucks it up. Right?
Yep. You know what? All I have to say about love is just don't take it because it's exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you.
The Love Boat.
Soon we'll be making another run.
We have officially lost it.
I'm going to blame it on this tequila old fashioned.
Oh, my God.
Boy, that one got me hot. That was amazing.
No, but, dude, I think, you know, we all know what love is. We've experienced it. Like I said, we love our pets. We love our family. We have these feelings about humanity. We give a shit about humanity. That's love for life.
Yeah.
Learn to love yourself. That's the most important thing. And then figure out how to love other people the way they want to be loved, not the way you want to love them. Mm-hmm. Very different.
So in other words, love openly.
That right there.
Be available for love because you don't know until you know. Love boats. Soon we'll be, you know, I have to do my Randy Johnson on it.
But man, yeah, so it's one of those things where we just have to understand that love is what it is, accept it as what it is, and
it's your definition.
Nobody can tell you how to love.
How you feel when you feel what you feel, because that's your feeling. Try that one.
I got lost in the love. Anyway, Coach, man, tell these people where they going to find you, man.
At Coach KJ Knows on Instagram and CoachKJ.com. And you're also going to find us on podcastsoe.com.
You'll find us also at SOE_podcast. You'll find me at Lionel Hunt and at huntspine.com. Remember, tune in every Saturday at 11 o'clock. We're going to be giving you all kinds of shit. And with that, y'all, I got a cough, so we out.
Out.